What kind of country is the United States? Is it a single nation, or is it a union of states? Well, in Federalist number 39, James Madison gives the answer that, well, it defines America itself, and it really is. It's both. And that balance between federal and national, state and people, is what makes the republic strong enough to survive. I'm Matt Hasquin. I'm a high school history teacher, a civics teacher too, and we're going through the Federalist Papers, all 85 of them, in order, and we're up to number 39. We're getting closer to that halfway point. And let's talk about Essay 39 here. Now, the Anti-Federalists, they accuse the Constitution of creating a purely national government, one that would erase state sovereignty. And Madison, in number 39, is going to respond with a degree of passion and patience and also precision. So he goes through the Constitution and he dissects it clause by clause to show that the new system is a careful blend. It's a federal partnership at its foundation, and it's a national republic in its operation. So Madison begins the essay basically by defining some terms. And he writes, "We may define a republic to be a government which derives all of its powers directly or indirectly from the great body of the people." Now that's the foundation. Sovereignty belongs to the people, consent of the governed. But how that sovereignty is expressed, through states, through Congress, through elections, that reveals a mixed character of the Constitution. Madison will first argue that the Constitution is federal in its origin. It was ratified not by one national vote, but by the states, each acting in its own sovereign capacity. And he writes, he says, each state in ratifying the Constitution is considered as a sovereign body, independent of all others. That's federalism, the states voluntarily joining a union. So you have a federal national government at the top and the states working beneath that. Now, but once ratified, the government's day-to-day functioning is national. The House of Representatives is elected directly by the people. The laws of Congress apply directly to individuals, not just the states, like we saw under the Articles of Confederation. And that's what the Articles really lacked, a national government that actually governs. And Madison calls this dual structure that exists a composition of both principles. So, Madison explains that even within the Constitution, some parts are federal, some parts are national, and some are a mixture of both. The Senate is federal, where you have the states that are equally represented. The House is national. It is a representation, and it's based on the population. The presidency, it combines both, because you have the president elected by electors, chosen by the states, yet serving the entire union. And so Madison will say that the genius of the Constitution is that it refuses to choose, one extreme. So Madison argues that no ancient confederacy ever was able to manage this kind of balance. You had Greece, you had Rome, you had the Netherlands, and they all failed because they were either too loose or they were too centralized. The American system is unprecedented. A government that's strong enough to act, yet limited enough to leave local self-rule intact. And he says, again, quoting Madison, "The proposed Constitution, therefore, is in strictness neither a national nor a federal constitution, but a composition of both." Now, anti-federalists will claim that by giving the national government supremacy through Article 6, the states would lose their independence. Now, Madison's going to reply that sovereignty isn't a zero-sum game, that the people hold the ultimate authority, and they've chosen to divide it by assigning different portions to different governments for different purposes. So, in short, the people remain the source even when power is shared. Now, Madison ends by reaffirming that the Constitution is truly Republican, small r. Its officials are chosen by the people. Its powers are limited by law, and its authority rests on consent. So, going to quote Madison again, he writes, "The House of Representatives is elected immediately by the great body of the people. The Senate derives its appointment indirectly from the people. The President is chosen by electors, appointed by the people." So, with what he said there, every path of power leads back to the citizen. So, if we go into the chain of reasoning here for Madison's essay here, number 39, if we tighten it all down, he says first that a republic derives authority from the people. And then the Constitution was ratified by the states, so that's federal in origin. Thirdly, it operates directly on the people. It's national in practice. Fourth, its structure combines both systems. And then finally, it creates a new kind of balanced sovereignty, which is uniquely American. So, Federalist number 39, for you kids out there doing your homework, and 5 easy steps. Now, Madison's tone, and we hit on some of these last few papers here, it's both analytical and it has kind of a visionary feel to it, because he knows that the Constitution isn't an imitation, it's actually an invention. It's a system that's designed to unite liberty and order together. You have diversity and unity that'll be united. We have federalism and nationalism that'll be united. So Madison's not just defending a government, he's naming a new type of political species. It's just like a new discovery, right? Now, Madison's moral insight is that freedom depends on shared power. Centralization will breed tyranny, and fragmentation will breed weakness. We kind of heard some of this from Hamilton in some of his earlier essays. So only when power is both divided and connected can a free people govern themselves without tearing themselves apart. So in today's world, how does this feel? Well, every argument about states' rights or federal overreach still kind of echoes Madison's balance from Federalist 39, because Madison's vision wasn't about choosing sides, it was about learning to live between them, because in that tension lies the health of the Union. Now, our takeaways from this particular essay are that, one, the Constitution is both federal and national. It's a deliberate blending. The second takeaway is that sovereignty belongs to the people, who then divide it for their own good. And then the third thing is the strength of the republic lies in its balance, not in its extremes. So, Federalist number 39 is, a great piece of writing. He's not just defending a document. He's not just defending the Constitution. He's actually kind of describing an identity. The United States isn't a loose alliance, and it's not a rigid empire. It's a living republic. It's federal in structure, and it's national in spirit. And it's sustained by the consent of the governed. I'm Matt Hasquin, once again, and this is another one of those things that, hey, you know what, we should just know these things by being alive. And if this particular episode helped you see how Madison, defined the balance that still guides America today, hey, take some time and maybe repost this or share it. I appreciate the view, and then hang around, join me tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm going to touch on Federalist number 40. And this is where we have Madison back again, and he's going to defend the Constitutional Convention itself, arguing that the framers didn't overstep their authority by having the meeting and not amending the articles. Instead, they go on to save the republic. Thanks for hanging around this long, and appreciate what you do here. Thanks for watching.